For this video, we are going to look at lesson 1.4 compound interest present value. So the skills that we're going to gain from this is to solve contextual problems that involve compound interest. So what we're going to be focusing on now is the present value, which is the amount of money that must be invested now to result in a specific future value after a certain period of time and interest rate. So basically, we're going to redo the same formula that we were learning in the previous lesson, but now we're going to be focusing on finding the present value instead of the future value. So for a quick example, we have Ginny is 18 years old and has inherited some money. She wants to invest some of it so that she can buy a home when she turns 30. She estimates that she will need $170,000 to buy a home. How much does Ginny have to invest now at 6.5 compounded annually? So we're going to use the formula first, and then after that, I will show you how to use the online calculator. So we write down our letters. So we need an A, we need a P, we need an I, we need an N, and a T. Because we're doing compound interest. And so for the future value, uh, it says that she'll need 170,000. So that's what she needs at the end of this loan. The present value we don't know because the question is asking how much does Ginny have to invest now? So when it's asking questions like that, it's trying to ask what the present value is. Our interest rate is 6.5%, which as a decimal would be 0.065. It is compounded annually, so our N is 1. And for the length of this term, she started when she was 18, and she's going to buy that house when she's 30. So I'm going to do the 30 minus the 18, and that will tell me how long this investment is going to be. So in this case, it works out to be 12. So now we go to our formula of A is equal to P times 1 plus I over N, all raised to N times T. So we have our A in this case, so it's 170,000 equals to the P, which we don't know, the 1, that's always a 1. Our interest rate is 0.065. The N is 1. And so now that's raised to another N, which is 1, and our T, which is 12. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out what this bracket piece is going to be. So I'm going to pull up my calculator. And just like we were doing the calculations before, I'm going to start with my fractions, the 0.065, and that's divided by 1, which doesn't do anything, and plus 1. And then I'm going to raise that to 1 times 12, and timesing by 1 doesn't do anything, so it's going to be 12. Okay, I get this giant string of numbers, so I'm going to write that down. And so what's going to happen is for this, I'm going to use 6 decimal places, and that should give me enough accuracy to be able to get the answer I'm looking for. So again, key is we're going to do 6 decimal places. So 2.129.096 is what I'm going to write down. So brackets 2.129.096. Okay. Now I just have to finish getting P by itself. So I'm going to divide by that 2.129.096 to get it to cancel out on the right side. And I'm going to do the same thing to the left side. So divide by 2.129.096. Then I'll go to my calculator. I will divide that out. So 170,000 divided by the 129.096, and I get $79,846.09. And we're dealing with money, so we only need 2 decimal places when we get to our final answer for the present value. So my P is going to equal to $79,846.09. So that's using the formula. Now to use the financial calculator, so I'm going to go to my financial calculator. Don't do the Google route this time. Make sure you go to .com and not .ca. You need to find the investment calculator. Okay. So for this one, let's see if I can get, let's do it this way. There we go. Now I can have the question and my calculator up at the same time. Okay, so yeah, make sure that your right side is 0 and nope. So for this one, okay, so starting amount, which is the present value, I don't know, so I'm going to put the unknown in. Periodic investment, 0, because we haven't got to periodic payments yet. The number of cash flows, so our length of our term is 12, and our compounding period is annually. So what that means is the calculation is only done once a year for 12 years. So that works out to be 12 times altogether. Our interest rate is 6.5. The goal amount we have this time is 170,000. Okay, so today's date, I'm going to switch to the first, and then it's annually. So the first cash flow is going to be a year later, so 09/01/2022. Going to switch my drop-down tabs to annually, and it's compounded annually. And then if I click calculate, go out to my present value, and I get the exact same thing that I would have got with the formula, if I wrote it down right. 79,846 and 9 cents. Remember your dollar symbols because we're dealing with money. And that is the end of the instructional video.